Right then, you lot, gather around because today we're diving into something truly fascinating. Welcome back to Global Fact Trends, or as I like to call it, a celebration of things that actually work. Today, we're taking a journey back in time to explore the roots of agriculture. While all you city folk are busy with your electric scooters and internet phones, farmers are still out there getting their hands dirty with tools that have been around for centuries. These tools have stood the test of time and continue to be indispensable in many parts of the world. You might think that in this day and age of GPS-guided tractors, these old-school tools would be gathering dust in some museum, but you'd be wrong. Despite the advancements in technology, these traditional tools are still very much in use. Turns out these tools, the ones that built our agricultural history, are still very much a part of modern farming. They are not just relics of the past, but are actively contributing to the present, especially in parts of the world where a shiny new combine harvester is about as common as a vegetarian butcher. In these regions, traditional tools are not just a choice, but a necessity. We're going to explore 7 traditional farming tools that are still used today, proving that sometimes the old ways are still the best. These tools have been passed down through generations, each with its own unique story and purpose. And before we get started, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below telling us about your favorite or least favorite farming tool. Your engagement helps us bring more fascinating content to you. Off we go. Let's embark on this journey to uncover the timeless tools that continue to shape our world. First up, we have the granddaddy of them all, the plow. This bad boy has been around for over 4,000 years and it's still going strong. The plow is essentially a big, sharp blade that's dragged through the soil to prepare it for planting. Back in the day, plows were pulled by oxen or horses. Nowadays, they're usually hitched to the back of a tractor. Even with all the fancy technology we have today, the humble plow is still an essential tool for farmers all over the world, especially in places like India and Africa. Why? Because it's simple, it's reliable, and it works. Plus, it's a lot cheaper than buying a brand new tractor. Farmers would rather spend their hard-earned cash on a nice pint down the pub, and who can blame them? Next up, we have the yoke, an ancient yet incredibly effective tool that has stood the test of time. A wooden frame used to harness a couple of oxen or water buffalo, the yoke is a symbol of teamwork and cooperation. Yokes are still used today in many parts of the world, particularly in developing countries where animal power is still the most cost-effective way to get things done. In these regions, the yoke is not just a tool, but a lifeline for many farmers. Sometimes a tractor is just overkill, especially when you've got a couple of sturdy oxen ready to work. These animals are incredibly resilient and can handle tough terrains that might be challenging for modern machinery. I've had a go at plowing with a yoke and oxen myself, and let me tell you, it's not as easy as it looks. It requires a great deal of skill and patience to guide these powerful animals. Those beasts are strong and don't always want to go where you want them to. It takes a seasoned farmer to manage them effectively and get the job done. But for farmers in places like Myanmar and Indonesia, the yoke is an essential piece of kit. It's a versatile tool that can be used for various tasks around the farm. It allows them to plow their fields, transport goods, and generally get on with the business of farming without breaking the bank. The yoke is a cost-effective solution that maximizes the utility of their livestock. Plus, it's a lot more environmentally friendly than using a diesel-guzzling tractor. By relying on animal power, these farmers are reducing their carbon footprint and promoting sustainable farming practices. So next time you're complaining about the price of petrol, spare a thought for the farmers who are still relying on good old-fashioned animal power. Their dedication and hard work are a testament to the enduring value of traditional farming methods. Now let's talk about the scythe. This ancient tool has been a cornerstone of agriculture for centuries, and for good reason. Picture this, a long curved blade attached to a handle. It may look simple, but its design is incredibly effective. Sounds simple, right? Well, it is, and that's precisely why it's been a farming staple for centuries. The scythe's simplicity is its strength. It's like the Swiss Army knife of agricultural tools. Versatile and reliable, it can handle a variety of tasks with ease. Before the arrival of noisy, fuel-guzzling lawnmowers, farmers relied on the scythe to keep their fields in check. It was the go-to tool for mowing and harvesting. Swinging a scythe all day is not for the faint of heart, it's a proper workout. The physical demands are significant, requiring both strength and endurance. You need the upper body strength of a wrestler and the stamina of a marathon runner just to keep up. It's a full-body exercise that engages multiple muscle groups. But the results are impressive. A well-maintained field, neatly cut grass, and a sense of accomplishment that comes from hard work. A well-swung scythe can cut through grass and grain like a hot knife through butter. The precision and efficiency are unmatched. The scythe is seeing a bit of a resurgence lately, especially among the organic and sustainable farming crowd. People are rediscovering its benefits. Turns out, people are starting to realize that sometimes simpler is better. The scythe offers a quieter, more environmentally friendly alternative to modern machinery. Plus, there's something quite satisfying about using a tool that's been around for centuries. It connects us to our agricultural heritage. It's like a connection to the past, a reminder of how things used to be done. The scythe is more than just a tool. It's a symbol of tradition and resilience. Chapter 4. The sickle, small but mighty. Now let's move on to the sickle, which is like the scythe's little brother. It's smaller, lighter, and perfect for those fiddly little harvesting jobs that would make a combine harvester break down in tears. Think of it as the precision instrument of the harvesting world. While the combine harvester might be the king of large-scale farming, it's about as useful as a chocolate teapot when it comes to harvesting crops in small fields or on steep slopes. That's where the sickle comes into its own. It's small enough to maneuver around tight corners and delicate enough to avoid damaging delicate crops. Plus, it's a lot cheaper to buy than a combine harvester. For farmers in countries like Nepal and Ethiopia, it's an essential tool that allows them to bring in their crops and put food on the table. So next time you're tucking into a bowl of rice, spare a thought for the farmers who harvested it with a sickle. Chapter 5. The hoe, the enemy of weeds everywhere. Right, now it's time for a tool that's near and dear to my heart, the hoe. The hoe is a thing of beauty. It's simple, elegant, and bloody effective. It's basically a long stick with a blade on the end, and its sole purpose in life is to rid the world of weeds. Weeds don't stand a chance against a well-wielded hoe. Sure, there are machines that can do that for us, but where's the fun in that? There's something incredibly satisfying about getting down on your hands and knees and taking on those pesky weeds with nothing but a hoe and a steely glint in your eye. Plus, using a hoe is a great way to get some exercise. It's like going to the gym, only cheaper and with better scenery. So next time you're tempted to reach for the weed killer, do yourself a favor and grab a hoe instead. You'll be glad you did. Chapter 6. The shovel. Not just for digging holes. Next up, we have a tool that's about as simple as it gets, but just as essential, the shovel. Sure, it's great for digging holes. Planting trees, burying treasure, you name it, the shovel can handle it. But it's also a dab hand at moving soil, spreading compost, and even breaking up stubborn clods of earth. It's like the Swiss Army knife of the gardening world. In this day and age of mini excavators and robotic lawnmowers, you might think the shovel would be relegated to the back of the shed. But you'd be wrong. The shovel is still an essential tool for farmers and gardeners all over the world, and for good reason. It's simple, reliable, and a lot cheaper than buying a mini excavator. Plus, there's something incredibly satisfying about digging a hole with a good old-fashioned shovel. It's like a primal instinct, a connection to our ancestors who used shovels to build their homes, cultivate their crops, and bury their dead. Chapter 7. The watering can, low-tech and loving it. Last but not least, we have the watering can, a tool so simple, so elegant, so utterly low-tech that it makes a rotary dial phone look like something out of Star Trek. Despite its apparent simplicity, the watering can is still an essential tool for gardeners and farmers all over the world, especially those working on a small scale or in areas where water is scarce. Sometimes you just can't beat the simplicity and precision of a good old-fashioned watering can. With a watering can, you can give each and every plant exactly the amount of water it needs without wasting a drop. Plus, it's a great way to get some exercise and enjoy the fresh air. So, next time you're tempted to reach for the hose, do yourself a favor and grab a watering can instead. Your plants will thank you for it. Outrow traditional tools here to stay. So there you have it, folks. 7 traditional farming tools that are still used today, proving that sometimes the old ways are still the best. They might not be as flashy or high-tech as some modern alternatives, but they're reliable, affordable, and they get the job done. In a world obsessed with the latest gadgets, there's something reassuring about that. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm off to make myself a cup of tea. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below telling us which of these traditional tools you'd be most likely to use. Until then, cheerio!